Well, good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for KREM News 10 at 10. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark is off tonight. We start off with breaking news at this hour. Just hours ago, Spokane police confirmed they're serving a search warrant in relation to last Friday's shooting investigation that ended with 2 people dead. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is joining us now live in the Minnehaha neighborhood tonight with the very latest. And what have you learned at this hour, Kyle?
Well, yeah, Cody, Spokane police tell us that multiple people have been detained at this home near the 4100 block of East Fairview. Tonight, Spokane police brought in their SWAT team to secure the house and to get people out. And again, officers telling us that multiple people have been detained here. And officers say that this search warrant is related to that suspected shooting where 2 people were found dead. Police aren't releasing any more information tonight. Officers are still on scene. They're inside the house going around with flashlights. We've seen the SWAT vehicles left here about an hour ago, but we aren't expecting any more information tonight from police. But we could get more information once this search warrant is filed in Spokane Superior Court. For now, reporting live in Northeast Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. Well, new tonight, a 4-day search came to a surprisingly happy ending for a 72-year-old Idaho woman who went missing last week. 2 hunters spotted Penny Clark's crashed car in a remote area halfway down a cliff. The men found her information in the car, realized she'd been reported missing, and called 911. When law enforcement got there, they saw movement in the distance.
Me and Chase were in the truck filling out reports, and one of the cops yelled, "Penny!"
Good Lord, not only have we found her, she's still alive.
With help from Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, they trekked Penny off the ridge and flew her to a nearby hospital. Authorities say her survival in harsh winter conditions is nothing short of a miracle. Also new tonight, people in Airway Heights learned more about how they can help investigators looking into groundwater contamination at the Spokane airport, which has spread to private wells. PFAS chemicals, which are used in firefighting foam, can increase cancer risk and cause other health issues. 3 groundwater wells at the airport were found to be contaminated back in 2017, but the Department of Ecology wasn't notified about the problem until this year. The airport's now responsible for cleaning up the site.
The responsible parties are required to pay and implement cleanup. Ecology does not implement cleanup. We oversee cleanup. We make sure it gets done right.
Is your home dependent on your own well?
In investigations determining how far the contamination has spread, the public will have a chance to weigh in on the airport's plan to clean up the site. And also new at 10, 2 college students hospitalized after being found with apparent carbon monoxide poisoning in Olympia have just been released. 3 students were found inside a housing unit at Evergreen State College Monday night. 21-year-old Jonathan Rodriguez of DuPont died. The Washington State Patrol brought in specialized forensic engineers from outside the state to look for a cause and any other potential leaks. Well, right now, let's take a break from the headlines and talk weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. And Jeremy, we actually saw the sun today. We saw it yesterday. Now the question is, will we see more sunshine as we get closer to the weekend?
I think so. I think we got a little more in the forecast as we head through the next few days, but temperatures are going to start dropping. Our dew point down in the 20s tells me we likely fall into the 20s tonight. We have a little bit of cloud cover, but I don't expect that to last too much longer. Everything's just kind of slowly working its way out of the region. And so what that means is we'll likely get rid of some of it. We'll likely wake up to a little bit of cloud cover, a low stratus, and light patchy fog. Not near as heavy as it has been. And then as we move through the day tomorrow, I think we wind up seeing a little sun. Saturday morning starts with a little fog, but by Saturday afternoon, a little bit of sun. You kind of see the pattern. We're heading back into one of those stagnant weather patterns. So down in the valleys, likely to get a little fog formation and likely to run into just a couple of reductions in air quality. Nothing crazy, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on it as it gets a little closer. But overall, temperatures remain in the mid and upper 30s each afternoon of the next few days. Morning lows down in the 20s. So if you can, get outside and enjoy the warmth later in the day.
Jeremy, thank you so much. Let's turn now to Nightbeat for a quick look at the day's top stories. The home where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered more than a year ago is now set to be demolished in just 2 weeks. We learned from the university the suspect's defense team will be at the home today and tomorrow taking photos, measurements, and possibly drone footage of the house. The university says the decision to tear down the house over winter break was made so as not to impact students living in the area. We also learned today KREM 2 will be allowed at the demolition on December 28th. We'll have a crew on scene with updates in all of our shows. Well, turning now to a developing story tonight. A woman was found dead alongside her dog in a field in northeast Spokane last night. Deputies say when they first arrived on scene, they found a dog which was not on a leash, showing aggressive or protective behavior next to the unresponsive woman. Authorities pronounced the woman dead at the scene. Deputies say the woman had wounds believed to have been caused by a dog, but that has not yet been confirmed. The incident's still under investigation. The city of Spokane confirmed several cases of a gastrointestinal infection have been found at the Trent shelter. Officials are now working to contain it. Now, this comes as the Spokane City Council voted today to approve additional funding to keep the shelter going through the winter. This afternoon, City Council approved an extension of the contract with the Salvation Army to run the Trent shelter from January through April. The contract total is $3.73 million. That includes $3 million to run the shelter for 4 months and $730,000 for cost increases to run the shelter this year.
This is still complicated. It has not been solved. This is a Band-Aid until we get more data and how we move forward and how we fund it. But we do not want anyone on the streets. As much as a city, we can prevent that.
The contract extension comes as the Trent shelter and Spokane County's unhoused population deals with an outbreak of Shigella. Spokane Regional Health District tells KREM 2 News they've been working with TRAC on increasing hygiene and sanitation measures. That was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, head on over to our website, krem.com. All over in the Middle East, in a shattered school, Israel's military said it killed many militants in intense fighting in the past day, hailing the surrender of about 70 alleged Hamas fighters. Today's deaths adding to the more than 18,000 killed, according to Gaza's health ministry run by Hamas. President Biden weighed in tonight.
I want them to be focused on how to save civilian lives, not stop going after Hamas, but be more careful.
U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan in Israel today pressed Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on a timeline. Two U.S. officials tell CBS News Israel's current phase of its offensive should be completed in 2 to 3 weeks, followed by lower levels of bombing for several months. The House of Representatives just passed a bill that will give military troops their biggest raise in decades. The National Defense Authorization Act passed this morning in a 310 to 118 vote. The Senate already approved the bill yesterday and now heads to the president's desk to be signed. The bill gives troops their biggest pay raise in more than 2 decades. It also includes a hiring freeze for diversity and inclusion training until Congress is given a full accounting of how money spent on those programs. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in